Hello everyone, I'm Matt, lead actor at the Children's Museum of Indianapolis. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm making this video outside at nighttime. Well, it's because right now, passing directly overhead, way up above me is the International Space Station. I just came out here to watch it. Kind of just looks like a little star right now, but it's still pretty cool. I've got an app on my phone that tells exactly when and where you can see it any night that the sky is clear. Now, if you don't know what the International Space Station is, don't worry, you will soon. Because today, I have got a project challenge for you that is all about that space station up there. Folks, this is out of this world engineering at home. Before we get hands-on, though, let's talk about what an engineer is. Now, not a train engineer. The type we're talking about is anyone who creates or improves or modifies something for the benefit of humankind. And today, we are going to pretend that we are engineers at NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. And boy, when you think of NASA, lots of things probably come to mind. Spaceships and astronauts and planets. Coming outside at night is a great time to just look up in the sky and think about all that stuff. But to me, the most amazing thing that NASA works on is the International Space Station, or the ISS. A space station the size of a football field where people are actually living and working almost 250 miles above the Earth as we speak. That was that little dot that went overhead just a minute ago. Now, you can probably guess that life up there is a lot different than life down here. For one thing, gravity on the ISS is a lot weaker than gravity here on Earth. Down here, I can do things like this. Or this. Oof, heavy. Or, this. Yeah, but none of that's gonna work quite as well up there, right? Well, the water wouldn't be able to pour out of the cup into my mouth. The weight wouldn't feel heavy at all, and these juggling balls would just float away. So, one of the first things NASA had to do before sending anyone to actually live in the International Space Station is re-engineer some of the everyday items that we use here on Earth so that they'll still work in outer space. And that, engineers, is your Project from Home Challenge. With your family team members, choose any item you can find that you think might not work quite as well in space. Maybe a cereal bowl or a basketball or a toy that requires gravity to work. Then you'll work together to re-engineer that item so that it could work in the International Space Station. All right, I can tell you're ready, so here's what to do. First, you'll need an engineering process checklist. There's one in this post that you can print out, or you can just grab a paper and a pen and make your own. On the top, write the name of the item you'll be working on. So let's say I'm going to work on a cup. From there, just go through the steps. Number 1, what's the problem? If you were to try to use your item up in space right now, what would the problem be? For instance, if I tried to use a regular cup in outer space, this would happen. Here are some actual astronauts on the ISS, and you can see that the liquid in cups there kinda just floats all around. So, I might write something like liquid would float. Number 2, brainstorm solutions. Think about what you might do to your item to keep that problem from happening. I might come up with something like, add a lid, or maybe use a straw. And then comes the fun part. Build a prototype. A prototype is basically just a model. Use stuff you find around the house to re-engineer your item. Change it, improve it, add to it, maybe even build something completely new. That's up to you. Finally, test it out, make note of your results, and most important, send us those photos and videos using #TCMAtHome. And check back right here in a week or so as we take a look at what all of you created. All right, I'm gonna sign off here. I'm gonna try to figure out how to re-engineer this cup to work up in outer space. Well, get to work on your items, engineers, and have fun creating something truly out of this world. Once again, I'm Matt, and thank you for joining us as we bring the Children's Museum to you at home. See you soon.